Hey guys, so in this video we're going to be sharing with you some of our best tips and tricks on how you can create more chances in FIFA 23. So we know a lot of people that do struggle with attacking. We have done a video on how you can get better at attacking, but this is a video on if you're someone that just struggles to create chances. So some of the more specifics with the game. So we're going to be going over some really good examples and explaining to you how you can attack in different ways to become a more well-rounded attacker in this game. So as always, show your support, please hit the like button, make sure that you subscribe, but most importantly, make sure you hit that notifications bell so that you know exactly when we release new content. So when it comes to creating chances, there is a lot of things that come into it, but some of the biggest things that are the most important is how quickly you can react to situations, how quickly you attack, and also how you can adapt in different scenarios when it comes to different attacks. So let's break down a couple of examples. So in this first example, you can see we're just attacking, we're just defending to start with, but eventually when we get into the attacking phase, we read him, we end up playing the ball on the inside. And what a lot of people do in this situation is they just smash this ball straight through, which is what we do in this occasion. We end up smashing it through to Pele and he ends up going on and scoring. But the reason why is very different to what a lot of people do. You can see that Cruyff is in a lot of space. So in this instance, what you can do is you can just move the ball forward, move the ball forward, move the ball forward. You're in behind his midfield. So you don't have to rush in this instance. And this is where a lot of people rush. In this example, you don't have to rush. You've got plenty of time. The reason why we play this ball is because we've got Pele. We know we're on the shoulder. We're already on the shoulder of the defender. So as long as the ball is hit with the right power, we know that he's got the speed to beat any defender. No defender is going to keep up with him. If Pele was 3 or 4 yards deeper and we try and play this through ball, the defender has got the edge on him. So then you can't play this ball. But in this example, you can play the through ball only if your attacker is on the shoulder of the defender. If he's any deeper, then you just need to move forward with patience and wait for him to come and pressure with the defender and then play the ball in behind. But you can see that we do play this ball in behind with Cruyff. It's inch perfect and then Pele is able to score. Now here's another good example of how speed of attack, but also just being able to be a bit unorthodox. In this situation here, how many people would play this ball in behind, in there to Pele? The reason why, if you can see the difference between the first clip when Pele was on the shoulder of the defender, you can see this time around how much deeper Pele's starting position is and how these defenders have extra yards on Pele. So if we just play that through ball initially, the defenders are going to intercept. The defender's going to be able to keep up. So that's why we don't do that this time. That's why what we actually do is ping the ball outwards to Correa. Now the opponent is in a bad spot because whilst he's got 4 defenders in the middle of the pitch and we've only got 2 attackers, so he probably thinks he's in a good spot. This defender is going to either have to come across to come and press us, and that could lead some confusion in the midfield, and then it's just about how we're able to react and read the situation in that sort of half a second to 1 second, or his goalkeeper is going to have to come and press us. However, if his goalkeeper comes to press us, we can just chip him over the top and it's an easy finish. And what he ends up doing is he does end up bringing the goalkeeper, as you can see, he ends up bringing the goalkeeper out. This guy he ends up dropping, but it leaves just some confusion. It leaves our 2 guys in there, but it now leaves a passing option on the inside for our attacker, and that's exactly what we do. And obviously now he's left the keeper completely out of his goal. We're able to pass that across goal and then finish the chance off. Now this is a great example. This shows how you can really break down attacking and the different things that go through our minds. So this time we're in good space with Pele. We again play the ball out wide with Correa. Now you can see he's got a good 4, good shape. He's got good 4 defenders back, and you can see all of our attackers are making runs in behind. And the big mistake that a lot of people make is they will try and play a pass straight into their defender. And that is such a massive mistake because one of the issues with doing this is the defender generally always cuts back on the inside to intercept the ball. Your attackers are running almost like they're on a track. So they're just running forwards. They don't stop their run. The logical thing would be to stop your run, receive the ball and carry on. But they don't do that in this game. They're not programmed to do that. So in this instance, never pass the ball inside because the defender is always going to cut it out. So what you need to do is go on the outside in this occasion. You can see on this chance, what we do is we go on the outside. You then wait for the attackers to create space, whether they detach from the centre-back, they just drop back, the defenders go back to the goal line, and the attacker just peels off, and then you look for the cutback once they're in space. And you can see that's exactly what we do. Correa goes on the outside, and then we do look for that cutback after that good step over to Cruyff on the inside. But just that ability to just read the situation and just know how the game works is so vital. And when we talk about being able to react to different situations, this is a good example. So we get the ball in with Haaland, we just wait for the rest of our players to get up the pitch. Now the ball here is to actually play this cross to the back post to Pele. You can see Pele has peeled off the back of the fullback, and he's in space. So if we just ping this ball in, Pele's got a good chance that he's going to be able to get a head on this, be able to volley this. But we didn't see this pass in real time. But this is where being able to react is important. At this point in time, the attack is done. But we end up playing the ball late into Correa. But you can see this guy was playing overload ball side. And this is where being able to recognize what is going on in the game is super important. He was playing overload ball side. So we knew we would have an overload on our side to the back post. This is why we was looking at back post crossing in this game, because the back post, we always had loads of people open. We was able to spot in an instant. We have 3 players at the back post. So we play this ball back across with Correa to the back post. And this is where we talk about being able to react. You have to react very quickly. You have to read the situation, read what's going on, read where your players are very quickly. And this is something that you can practice. The more you play the game, the more you understand the game. But there is only so much practice you can do with this. You either have this ability to do this or not. Now, that's not me saying I'm an amazing player at this game. There's definitely things that I can't do and don't have the skill to do. But this is something that you can practice. But it really helps when you can record your games like this, because you see certain patterns that happen over and over again. And I see this pattern over and over again in a lot of our gameplay. And you can see we ping the ball back with Correa back to the back post. And how many people would play that cross? Not many people. But when you watch your gameplay back, you're able to see these things that you can do. And there where you're able to make those adjustments. And that's super important. So now, before we continue into our next examples, if you want us to make more videos like this, make sure you hit the thumbs up button and make sure you comment below right now with any questions that you have about this topic and about this video, and we'll do our best to get around to answering all of you. So let's jump into the next example. And this is another great example. It just shows how we build up an attack. And the biggest thing, again, that we pointed out at the start is patience. And it's so important when you're attacking. You have to be patient. Don't pass the ball forwards all the time. You can see how we work the ball around. You got to move your opponent around. Not every pass needs to go forward. You can see just some simple passing there. Nothing too complex, nothing too, advanced. And that's opened that space up. And you can see we're going to play an easy pass into Haaland. There's that passing lane. We've opened up that passing lane now so that we can play the ball into the striker without it being risky. He's then going to panic switch into his defender, and then he's going to drag his defender into Haaland to try and tackle him. And then you can see Cruyff is just behind Haaland. He's going to run in behind to the space that's now been vacated by the centre-back. So you can see how it all links together. But the key, when we eventually play it on, is you'll see how quickly, the speed. And this is important. You've got to be patient in your build-up, but then you've got to be able to switch it on. You've got to be able to attack at the click of a finger. You've got to be able to speed it up very, very quickly. And you can see when we do run it on, how exactly what we just said happened. We play it into Haaland, and then boom, Cruyff runs in behind, we spot it, we're in, and then Cruyff's able to finish that near post on the outside of the foot. So just that ability to be able to be patient in the build-up, but then be able to speed it up when you've identified how you're going to score the goal. And again, this is another one. It's a great tackle all the way back here from Gabriel just to stop the attack. And again, the patience. This is really important. That mixture of being patient, but also being able to speed it up is really important. You can see how we need to get this midfielder out of the way. You can see he's tracking inside with that midfielder, and we're trying to slow the game down. And this is important because you need to move that midfielder out of the way. What so many people do in this situation is they'll either pass the ball inside to one of the two guys, I think it's Cruyff and Haaland, or they'll try and force a pass up front to Pele. The problem is you've got that midfielder in the way. You have to get that midfielder out of the way. And this is a mistake a lot of people make. They turn the ball over and then they maybe concede, they give up possession, they maybe concede a goal themselves. So what we need to do is we need to get that midfielder to come and press us. Because what's that going to do? It's going to allow us to go on the outside with pace, because we're going to be able to outpace any midfielder with our winger. Or if he covers the outside, we're going to be able to pass inside. Now he's vacated the space, we can pass inside. And you can see the subtle little trick we do. We slow him down, we wait until he gets close, and then we sprint past him. And you can see now how that defender is out the way, and we're able to pass the ball inside to Cruyff. So that ability to draw the defender in, and then use pace, and then get past him, and then go on the outside of him, and then we're able to pass the ball on the inside to Cruyff, and then Cruyff is able to then pass it first. But again, look at the speed of passing. It's just everything's one touch. And that's really important. Once you've identified your attack, you've got to play fast. You've got to be one touch. You've got to be quick. You've got to be decisive. And there's nothing more complex other than that when it comes to attacking. It's just identifying what your attack is going to look like. You have to be able to think 1 or 2 passes ahead. But once you've identified how your attack is going to go, it's all about speed. It's all about speed of passing, precision. Once you can do that, that is when you become an elite level attacker, and that's how you'll start to create more chances. It's not about learning fancy skills. It's not about abusing meta. You can see in all these clips, not once did we abuse quote unquote meta. Why? Because meta gets patched. So if you're someone that relies on meta, let's say crossing's overpowered, you rely on crossing and then crossing gets patched, you're back to square one. So you have to learn how to play the basics of the game. And that's why we say speed of thought, being able to move the ball quickly, being able to read the game, being able to react. Once you can do all these things, you will become an elite level attacker. So as we said earlier in the video, if you want us to continue to make more detailed videos like this one, then we do need your support. So make sure that you smash that like button, make sure you subscribe, and make sure you turn on that notifications bell. And if you do want to ask us any questions, you feel free to join our Discord. The links to everything is down in the description. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.